you want it, you got it. I'm buzzing around, getting raw on the court, making it rain with Greg from Reign and Win Pickleball. It's the Pickle with Mickle interview series 0-0 start. Now we are.
We're live.
All right.
Here we are.
We are live now. We have conquered technology once again. Folks, what happened here this morning, just to give you the short side of it, we kind of had to flip the coin and let Greg invite me in. So I'm happy to be here on your show, Greg, and wonderful to be joining you. But now I'll take the reins back. Here with me on the court, we're buzzing around today with Greg from Reign and Win Pickleball, raw pickleball. I mean, I love it. I've loved it since I first saw one of your paddles on the socials, man. How are you doing? You're there in Tampa. It's Wednesday. We're getting over the hump. We talked a little bit. You endured another storm, but you're safe. And I mean, family's good.
Yeah, it's been crazy here, right? I guess, I don't know. I missed the first storm, but the second one just crushed us here. So, I mean, I lost a second bedroom, and a new roof actually was put on after the first storm really quickly, which was good because we didn't want any more water in here. So that was a little crazy. But, everyone's got the pickleball bug, and they're still wanting to go to the courts, and they want lessons. And, I have an academy here in St. Pete. So,
absolutely,
everybody still wants, they still want to play pickleball, so.
Yeah, they do. They certainly do want to play pickleball out here. Pickleball is crazy, as you know, and the temperatures we were talking about, they're dropping. People can get back outside. The parks are filling up, and all the indoor pickle places are still full and crazy, too. What I wanted to do a little bit, Greg, kind of set the stage here just for my own personal edification. Now, you grew up in New York. That's right?
Yeah, mostly New York, upstate Rochester, New York, the 585.
The Ra-Cha-Cha?
So I've been in Ra-Cha-Cha, Lake Ontario, winter, more cold weather. But yeah, it's been I've been in Florida since like '93. Lauderdale, Naples, where everything came together as far as pickleball world 12 years ago. Met Kyle Yates, his family, and everything
soon
else
to be
was
Hall of
history from
Famer.
there, but yeah, 27, right? Or 26.
This year. He's going into the Hall of Fame this year.
Taught Ben John. He taught Ben Johns everything he knows in the beginning, that's for sure, because we used to play all together. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, we got to get into that. I think where I was going is, what other kind of sports were you into growing up? I'll just throw it out. Are you a football guy? Are you Bills Mafia? Or have you adopted another team?
Oh. Yeah, it's my parents put me in the Bills Mafia. I just wish, towards the end every year we'd do better, and just not crumble under the pressure. It's I guess KC is pretty big rival for us all the time, so I guess we don't like Mahomes and all that. But
it further explains the exodus to Florida. It explains that exodus to Florida after the 90s with the 4 straight Super Bowls and the defeats. Bills fans they all went to Florida. You were probably part of that herd. But
yeah. Well, I think I was a Giants fan originally, and then kind of like Steelers Giants, right?
Okay.
So the old Steel Curtain was really my team from back in the day with
Hell yeah, Lambert, Harris on the other side of the ball. I mean, those were Bradshaw's guys. I hear you, man. That's a good combo. If you can be if you can
Len Swan. Yeah,
always beating the Cowboys,
there,
right? Love it. Because I'm a Redskins
Mike
fan.
Webster,
you beat the Cowboys,
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, right. So that's why you can do the Giants too, because the Cowboys. But yeah, the Cowboys lost this last week, didn't they?
Oh yeah, it's always fun when they lose. I talked about that. They got mauled, and so we'll see what's going on.
Yeah.
But we're here. We want to talk about pickleball. Pickleball's the deal, just like you said. It's been the deal since '93. You got down there to Florida. We already teased it a little bit. I mean, you started playing and really learned the game from your buddy Kyle Yates, who's going into the Pickleball Hall of Fame this year. I think that's really cool. And I love your setup there in the background with your paddles. We're going to get into that because I think before we started recording, your paddles are so cool. The colors are vibrant. And I just love what's going on. If you see things popping off of me in the background, it's because I have your website going so I can see the Super Hive and the Kevlar excluder. And we've got to talk
Oh,
about
nice.
how the evolution of paddles and surfaces and compositions of the paddles, and Greg, where you see this going. And we're going to get to the academy you talked about. I got it laid all right here, man. I prepped good for you. So we're going to have a lot of fun here today. But,
Love it. Love it.
let's
Thanks for that.
let's talk about the resurgence of pickleball, because I'm always fascinated to get the perspective of folks like yourself who've been in this thing for a little while, not just since 2017 or 2018. You've built a solid foundation. You know the game. You're in the middle of the game, and I like to say we're watching the evolution of a sport that's been around but dormant from as many eyeballs that we're seeing, as many dollars as we're seeing going into this from a recreational perspective with folks who want to make paddles and gear and things like that. People who are taking people on pickle cruises. And I mean, there's picklecations you can go on and stuff like that. It's amazing. Go ahead and just give me your perspective and just a little background on, that start of pickleball for you.
Yeah, again, it all started, like I said, in Naples. You know what I mean? There wasn't really much to do there, and it's just like, okay, we'll get into pickleball and see what's up. Actually learned it up north in Rochester indoor, and then it just all came down to, okay, going back to Florida where I'm going to find some pickleball, and it really kind of wasn't there. And then actually I did hair for a while, so I was a stylist, and a guy came in, he had a pickleball shirt on, and I'm like, where are you playing pickleball? Because I haven't seen it. He's like, right down the street. I said, no, I looked. It's not there. And he's like, yep, go down there. And there it was, sure enough, right? So there's the U.S. Open as a hockey rink, back then, right? So, and now it's like the biggest in the world that everybody kind of scatters to. But it's just a little hockey rink and a big skateboard park, and they just bulldozed everything over and made 12 courts, which became 56 or whatever now. I go down to the U.S. Open every year. I don't always participate anymore. I think the event's lost its luster over the years, so to speak.
Okay.
Some of the organization just wasn't that amazing, but the sponsors have always been good, and stuff like that. And we had fun the first maybe 3. But I think it's coming out your way, actually, now. Maybe.
Yeah.
A big
Nationals
event, right?
is going to be out here in Mesa at the Arizona Athletic Grounds this year, I think around the weekend of November the 15th. And so, it's
that's
going to
my
be
boy. I think Brett something with Crush Pickleball, and those guys
Brett
got
Warner.
something going out there. So, yeah, good buddy of mine in the beginning.
Okay.
It's funny. He reached out to me even before he was with Crush, and he's like, dude, what's this raw pickleball brand? He's like, someone was using a Yola paddle in pro singles, and it snapped on him, and somebody had a raw Hive paddle, and he crushed it he loved the Hive. So and that was kind of like 2 years ago, right? So again, the progression, it's just like, and the contacts, being an OG, I know most of these people and players and business folks, you know what I mean? We have, a couple teams here like Florida Smash that, whatever, the MLP thing is kind of like.
What's your take on MLP?
Cool.
You don't like it?
Well, no, I like the format. I just don't like, just the whole how it's become political,
Sure.
Over the years. I've never seen anything so political, right? So, and now there's these organizations that are starting their own certification programs, the UPA. It's just a big mess and a money grab to me. I think that's the way I see it. It's funny because I was just watching a pod the other day, with this guy.
It's great because
it's called.
I got it right here, and we didn't plan this, folks, because we spent most of our time this morning just trying to get to this point. But I had it: pro pickleball, multiple leagues. Right? Multiple leagues, rules. So this is great because, again, like you said, the PPA, MLP, they're together under the UPA. We got this one over here. I was talking with Mike Neely from USA Pickleball, and that's, the Nationals that's going to be here in Vegas. And, of course, PPA is going to do the World Championships, Greg, in Dallas at that horrible venue before Nationals is here in Mesa. And to me, I think where people, if they're fans of the sport, are kind of losing an opportunity to see amazing pickleball. You're going to have great pickleball out here in Mesa. And of course, you got all the people you hear about and can see on TV are going to be there in Dallas. They can't do both because of the contract, and we want you here. People want to see great pickleball. And it's just, I don't know. I see you smiling a little bit, but I'll let you get back to talking about how you were with all these different foundations and things. Yeah. And where I was going is, I'm sure people say it to you and people say it to me. And here I am just, it's Pickle with Mickle, right? When are we getting in the Olympics? I'm like, pump the brakes. It's going to take a little bit.
Yeah, there's too many divisions and political stuff going on. And I think that's the big reasoning behind it. Also, you have to have a big international following. We're in the UK right now with our brand, and we're doing really well. And I was supposed to be at the English Open just a couple months ago. But again, it just turned into, we want $7,000 to come out and rep the brand for a week. I'm like, no, I'll let Gamma and whoever else do that, Franklin, right? Just can't compete with that kind of stuff. We're a smaller brand. We're organic. We're growing organically. That's the way we're going to stay. We can't compete with that marketing. The smiley face paddle, was with Selkirk for a year, Gearbox for 2 years. Gearbox was great. But just the evolution of the paddle industry is just really, you've heard it before, it's pretty crazy, right? So at least we have a background and we're doing some kind of support as far as giving back to local bee farmers, wherever our ambassadors are. We're just trying to go after,
Greg, we couldn't have planned this any better.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just going in every segment, right? But yeah, we're really trying to support, same thing with my tournaments. I support mental health and give back. It's a big deal to give back to mental health, I think, with just tournament organization instead of the big money grab. And you know what I mean? Okay, yeah, I spent, we got a young kid down here that took 9 points off of Ben Johns in singles in Virginia last week. And I was like, hey, dude, I caught you on TV. I barely watch, so much of the PPA much anymore. Because it's kind of like, I don't know, singles is cool to watch. But how many times am I going to watch the doubles, same teams, But, yeah, he was all excited, and stuff. So, but I was like, well, how much did you spend to play Ben Johns and get the experience? He's like, well, yeah, $500. I'm like,
I was going to say $700, so, right? $1,000. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And then just registration fees alone is going to be $300, right?
Yeah. So that's where I was kind of pumping it up a little bit. And you mentioned it. And I talked to folks who were, good rec players. They want to go there and get that kind of tournament experience. But anymore, there are so many people. It costs so much. And the whole day is kind of like a pain in the butt. And sometimes even when I still go to a pro tournament, and this was even in Mesa, the pro players don't even know what course they're playing on sometimes. Like, I don't know, I got to run over this way, I think. Maybe we're going over here or something like that. Sure. I think I can practice on this court if that level, game is over. But let's get back, and I love how you mentioned the bees, because I definitely want to get to the bees. Fascinated by what you're doing there and how you're giving back in that way. But you did also mention... and did I just lose it? Because now the bees are flying around my head. The children, helping out the special needs or behavioral health. You said mental health children. Talk about how pickleball is a great way to help these people that have these special needs or mental health issues.
Well, yeah, again, so we just did a big, we like to go international, right, too, because we're trying to build it for the Olympics, right? So, I just donated a bunch of stuff, a bunch of paddles and nets and things like that to a missions trip with one of our churches here locally down to Peru, which are, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see that, there's all these little kids. We just built them like $3,000 little huts or homes, you know what I mean? So they could have something, right? Yeah. But the gist of it was to kind of get some pickleball involved and some netting, so they can play and say, hey, this is some, they're playing soccer, but now it's pickleball. So we're really trying to get that vibe going. And that definitely goes into mental health with some of these older people that don't have homes in Peru and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then their kids are less fortunate as well. So, why not bring pickleball and a smaller brand into it. And then now all these little dudes, the paddles are the size of them, so, they're running around and I think that's a big thing to keep doing those kinds of things. And I know some of the bigger companies do that as well, but it's always, seems to be built around, hey, buy our paddles so we can, I don't know, but, yeah, we support NAMI as well, which is when I run tournaments, we get back to NAMI's a big chapter around the United States as far as national, suicide prevention and mental stuff like that. So, it's always good to give back that way too. So we're pretty fond of doing that.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. I think that's amazing, and we'll make sure we keep plugging that as we go along. I mean, what's your take on the ratings? We talked about how there's multiple organizations for governance. Now you can have a duper or a pooper or a utiper. I mean,
Duper, I was with Duper since the beginning, and they just destroyed what they had. Again, you've got a big organization. You've got big money coming behind these things, right? So where's the guy that started those things? He's not even involved anymore. And we know who that is, Kuhn, right? Kuhn.
Steve
Where's Kuhn now? He's over in Europe. You know what I mean? So he's doing a European thing now. You know what I mean? So, but Duper, just their support has been really rough. You can create multiple accounts with Duper with different emails. You can go in and play 6, 7, 8 games, in a 5-0, an open tournament, and right away you're a 5. You're that level. You're
right.
a 5-5. Just because you played 6 games with a new account. How do they control that? I don't know. You know what I mean? I lost. I think I lost one game, and I dropped from a 5-1 to a 4-2, and I just was livid. Right? Just one game, and then you win 6 straight the next and get gold, and then it doesn't change. So
you don't move up.
The rating. Yeah. The rating system's funny, right? Yeah,
right.
Increments, small increments, right?
Right,
so I look at it.
Or you come play me,
Duper,
so you drop down to a 3-5 because you're just beating up on somebody like me, so you can go sandbag it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that with Duper, I think that you're rewarded the more you spend with bigger tournaments and higher levels with open play. Obviously, you spend more money to play open divisions, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, then you're rewarded with your Duper, even if you lost, to the 6-5 player. Now you're a 5-0, right? You know what I mean? But because you spent $700 for the weekend. But for me, I personally, I'm just kind of like hooked on playing smaller tournaments that support local vibe, that type of thing. And I mean, I'm more into that kind of stuff. I've dropped off the PPA probably 2-3 years ago. APP, I think, is still doing. I think they're still pretty cool. You know what I mean? As long as I don't go too crazy. I like the APP.
I think the APP's got some great players. I think they do great things around their youth movement. They're doing a lot of things over in internationally as well. They've got a nice series for distinguished players such as ourselves, right? I mean, keeps the dream alive for the weekend warrior. And that's what I love about pickleball. And I'll circle back to what you said, is there are local tournaments that are really fun, that are put together by folks like yourself, that other local businesses will sponsor, right? And where we can all grab a little bit of this pickle fever, and then it might not take you 13 hours to play 4 games and figure out who's going to get who's going to get the medal.
Seeded.
Yeah. And maybe then we don't have to worry so much about, I won at a 4.0 level. Hey, let's come out. Let's make sure we're all kind of competitive together and figure it out and have a lot of fun.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about that kind of vibe. I think from when I started, that was much more fun. I mean, you'd pay $50 and you'd get 3 events, and it'd be run smooth. You'd get like nice goodie bags. I give away a lot of paddles at my events and stuff like that too. And I just think that's kind of a cool thing to do and support, again, smaller events. I think it's more pliable. I mean, there's a lot of rec players out there. I mean, who's playing on the PPA? 1,300 people following around the same circuit. I mean, how many pickleball players do we have? A lot more than 1,300 players. That is for
Right.
sure. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
what paddle do they play with now out there on those big events, right? I mean, we know Yola and Selkirk control the market, Engage, whatever. But I mean, they'll continue to do that, I guess, on the bigger circuit. But as far as the smaller tournaments, I'm like, we'll let
Well,
them
when
use
you
a piece of wood, no problem.
yeah, I see videos of good players
A
using
shoe,
frying pans and schooling people for crying out loud. I mean,
a
maybe we got to
shoe,
go
yeah, a shoe.
go back to there. I mean, you could use this one. I mean, that's where I wanted to go to is when I first started the pod and we were talking about that earlier. I made some paddles, right? I found, a place over there in China that made me a few paddles, and I put,
A
put
place.
my put my put my logo on it, right? And it was a nice, graphite
Yeah,
surface, good little beginner paddle. But
yeah,
what I like about this one is I got
yeah,
all the signatures on it as I went around to some tournaments. So that's a definite collector's item. But you might find some of those out there. If you
sure.
see anybody swinging one of these, that's the E3715 from Eagle Iron Sports right there. That's a
Mickle,
legacy paddle.
baby.
Pickle with Mickle. I mean,
That's
you
the
made it
Mickle.
big time. I appreciate you making some time for me. And I want to get back to the bees a little bit. Talk to me more about
Sure.
how you're helping these bee farmers. I think it's amazing, and I'm ignorant to the whole thing. Other than I know bees are important, and I think it's awesome. I mean, I like honey.
Why do you think? I like honey too. I have bad allergies, right? So I mean, I've got a lot of honey, but I think it's just again, coming from bigger brands and knowing what they produce. Um, why not build a brand around um, the same kind of stuff they're making, and and do our thing and give back a little bit, right? So I mean, so as far as raw, Reign and Win, the bee population. If a lot of people don't know, if we don't have pollinators and bees, that we don't have food.
Right.
Plain and simple, we don't have food. So, and the population of bees is being decimated continuously. I give back to a group called Pollinators Now. They're pretty good. They do all kind of they're a nonprofit for pollination and pollinators and plants, and they do all these really cool things. So that's one of my main ones that I like. But again, whenever we have like ambassadors like in Hawaii and stuff like that, our brand's pretty big in Hawaii and
Okay.
Texas, we ask them to find local bee farmers, and we'll support those local bee farmers with what it is, whatever it is, right? Just investing in their company or whatever it is, or trying to collab with them somehow. Again, I think it's important again to give back to those local communities. Like on my webpage at the top of there's a link to our uh, main
Yep.
squad that we support here, and they lost all their bees in this past storm, so
Oh
they've got to
no.
completely rebuild. Yeah, they lost them all. So yeah, so it's pretty crazy, right? So right there, I mean, with just one disaster, you've lost all these bees, or all these pollinators, right? That are trying to, again, local honey is really good to have for allergies and any kind of inflammation. I think is a
Yep.
huge thing with pain and a lot of things like that. So our brand supports that. So again, that's our twist with our brand, and we like doing that. So it's a cool thing.
It is. I think it's awesome. I appreciate taking some time and further really explaining that. And for, the people who are unawares, yes, bees are an integral part of society, let's call it, right? They're a part of the world all over. And what you're doing down there to help support it locally. And I love how you mentioned your ambassador program's big, and that the folks geographically dispersed where they are looking to also get involved with their local communities, and bring it
Yeah.
full circle again. You talked about Brett Warner, and I know Brett, and what the folks here at Crush are doing, and you got there's another local company here like Proton, and I think it's important that these local companies are active and trying to do good things in the communities too. And now Brett's got a whole nother thing going on kind of too, building a pretty big facility with the whole pure
Oh
pickleball
yeah.
thing, and I can't wait to
Yeah.
see that. And that'll make me ask you: have you played padel?
No, but I mean, I definitely I'm probably getting bored enough with pickleball to maybe play padel. No, I'm kidding. It looks like an awesome sport. I played racquetball, so my background before that was before pickleball was racquetball. So padel, I think, would definitely have my interest for sure.
It looks amazing to me. I mean, I've only seen it on social media. There's not a lot of places to play it, around the country because the courts are kind of expensive to build. I know there's like one other place, but I think they're going to have it at their facility. Well, they are. It's called Pure Pickleball and Padel.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that we might see a little traction of that crazy game here in the next few years. But a $4.5 billion industry pickleball's turning into over the next 5 to 7 years, maybe something like that. Is that not just phenomenal to you from where 10, 15 years ago this whole thing was?
Yeah, I just think I think it's more fun when it's down back to the roots of the actual game and the rec play and that whole thing there. That I think is what makes it fun for people and people to do it. I don't think that a lot of people are watching. I know they want the watchers and the viewers, pickleball TV, blah blah
Yes.
blah. But what do you think they're going to be doing? Playing pickleball or watching pro pickleball with all the controversy?
Yeah, it's fun to get out there and play, right? And so let's talk about your academy and how you're helping people play and how you're helping those rec players. Like Pickle with Mickle, the story of 3.5 to a little better. Like I said, that's the weekend warrior. And you like that? What's that?
3.8 now, right? 3.8.
Yeah, a little better. Just trying to get a little better.
Good.
But let's talk. Well, no, I think my duper would.
Paddle.
I think my poop. Better send me a Kevlar titanium or excluder titanium. I want to talk about that. But talk about your academy where you're teaching people of all levels, of all ages too, to get better at pickleball. But you've been doing that for a long time as well, Greg, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I think I got a clinic this Saturday. So people, I'm constantly getting calls to want to play pickleball. Oh, I play tennis, la la la, and then so like, okay, well, pickleball is different, bro. So well, I heard you can learn in 15 minutes. How long do you think I need to play? So it's kind of like, you gotta put some work in. I have some big clients that really put the work in from zero, right? And they do well. They do well now. They stayed with me. Sometimes people don't. They just take 5 sessions or something, and then off they go with bad habits sometimes. You know what I mean? Or they learn a lot of bad habits and they're like, hey, you got to help me correct my serve or my return, right? So I always start them right from basics, no matter if they're 4.0, 4.5, 2.5. When they come to the academy, we're always starting from basics no matter what, because all of a sudden you'll be like, okay, well, your serve sucks, dude. It's not deep. You're bringing people in. So that's where it starts, and then it could be hand speed, whatever it is. But the academy is definitely something that has been very good to me. And obviously we just got decimated in this last hurricane here. Yeah. So, but we have 4 courts that are really in still good shape because they're pretty good shape. So good. At least we have that. So when people want to come out and continue to train and learn, then we have it. You know what I mean? So very busy with that. The paddles just become more of an accessory for us. Like anything, I think. And once they bring their Amazon paddle and they start hitting with that, I'm like, hey, let's just put something else in your hand from us and see what you think. And right away, it's they're turned on. So the academy has been pretty good.
That's awesome. And as the paddles continue to evolve, certainly, R.A.W, Reign and Win Pickleball has a variety of paddles from introductory to now. The new thing was Kevlar. Is it now titanium? How do you see this continuing to shift? And give me your take, of course, for the rec player. I don't want to get on the side of somebody who really hasn't played a lot and they don't know what they're doing. Next thing you know, that thing's coming at me like a rocket launcher because they had to go out and get the L6000 titanium plus space carbonized, Velociraptor or something that's coming.
Right. Well, everybody should go check out Anarchy Pickleball. I like that guy. He's in Arizona, actually. He's a pretty cool
Okay.
dude. And he's really speaking his mind right now. And, what's going on with the UPA and USAPA and stuff like that, just as far as the paddle wars and the scamming or whatever's going on, Anarchy Pickleball, that dude's pretty cool. I just watched one of his pods. I think he's in Tempe or something, but he's a cool dude. Yeah,
I'll have to find him. All right.
But definitely a good pod. But yeah, as far as paddles, oh my gosh, right? So I mean, I obviously everybody wants the Yola mod. Everyone's got the mod. Even though it was approved like who knows 2 years ago, right? Just because they went down and all of a sudden now it's back up. It's crazy. I mean, $280 for a paddle. Our paddles are never going to be $250, $280. Absolutely not. We are not going to do that. If anything, we'll lower them just so people again.
Well, I mentioned
can play with 100.
Right here in Arizona, Proton, he's coming out close to $300 with the new paddle.
Yeah, I was at the tennis shop yesterday. I think those guys are way off the mark. I mean, that's way too expensive. I think it's crazy just for a surface that is wax. Wax surface. I don't know. It's like I think about Stickum. You know what I mean? Remember that with Lester Hayes and the Oprah?
Yeah, Sticky Finger Hayes. Now you're talking my language.
That's right. Right. So and then what happened with that Proton? Didn't what's his name just got fined $50,000 with a Proton because he had Stickum or something on his paddle, right? So you've got all these weird things going on. You know what I mean? And then you got like triple foam going into the paddles now. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like stay with a Gen 1 paddle and you'll do just fine. The surfaces are changing, which I'm interested in. Like again, the titanium and the Kevlar.
Yeah.
I like those weaves, and I think have been really neat. I think that's more safe versus triple foam or all this foam technology, right? Yeah,
because I think that's what people need to realize is the surface is the surface. It's what we're doing in between, right? It's how we're packing in the foam, how we're molding things in there and putting this there that's going to get the ball to pop off that surface. Better. With the surface, we're looking to add in more control, more spin varieties, I should say. I can't even talk right now because I'm getting excited. But I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah. Again, I mean, what happened, a couple years ago at the U.S. Open, Ben was complaining about, the carbon paddle being too spinny or something, right? And then all of a sudden just hit the fan, right?
Right.
And that's where everything started going crazy with the whole surface thing, right? Now it's completely different. It's the inside of the paddle. So how much you got going on with all this stuff that's causing all these big divisions and, again, companies want to charge $100,000 a year for a small brand to come in and play on their circuit of 1,300 people that follow them around? No way. No way. We'll start a union before that. You know what I mean? No way. I mean, or people are they're just not going to play those events because they don't care to do that. You know what I mean? Or why, they just went spend $280 on a paddle and they're like, what do you mean I can't use that paddle in a tournament, in your tournament? Where do you go with all those things? Yeah, right. So
and
usually
then
what happens with me when go.
I was going to say, and then the ball. Right, I play with this ball, but now we're playing with only this ball, and I've never played with that ball, or we got to use that ball. I'm like, for crying out loud! But
I just got balls that came to the door just when I was setting up. So we're really big in with Crown Pickleball. There are guys over there. Kevin Perkins, he's another guy you're going to want to talk to.
I've been chasing him a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, it comes down that. That's a great ball. It's an in-betweener of the X40 and the Dura, which has dropped, right? Where's the Dura 40 now? Dura 40 is gone, right?
Right.
Now we got the Vulcan, right? So, I mean, where did the Vulcan come from? Was that from Crown, maybe? I don't know.
I'm not sure. We don't want to reveal too much behind the curtain. We got to keep let people keep guessing here. But I'm having a lot of fun. I got Greg from Reign and Win Pickleball on the court with me, Pickle with Mickle, even though he's the host and I'm the guest. Trust me, we're doing this the right way. But are you ready to have some fun? All right, this is where we get into the fun stuff. This is our own little hands battle at the kitchen line. Although now the game's evolving to where I was watching it over the weekend. I like MLP. I like watching some of the tournaments because I love the mixed doubles and I love the doubles, right? I think you're right. Singles is awesome. And, I'm not getting out there and schlepping around singles right now. And I mean, could I do it? Yes. But I prefer to get out there with my friends and play some good doubles. I love the mixed game. I was watching a little bit. They're firing from 5 feet behind the kitchen line for crying out loud with some crisp shots just back and forth. And we're seeing the game, I think, which I don't like. I like the chess match at the kitchen line. You find a time to power right. Hips and pits, that's okay. If I can find a gap and get you, right? We laugh about it. We reset. We play another point. But, I mean, people are taking the ball out of the air a lot sooner. We see a lot of that power, which, again, translates back to powerful paddles and rec play, where it's like, I don't want, somebody who doesn't know how to control it just flinging things. But at any rate, we're going to have some fun here. I want to make sure you're ready. I wanted to set you up because, I mean, we could get going here. I already know you're Bill's Mafia guy, so I'll give you a softball. I'll give you a little softball here. You've got a little bit of ink, which I like. I like tattoos. What's your next tattoo?
No, probably another B. Probably another B.
All right. What was your first tattoo?
It was probably an anchor for my dad and my uncle who was in the Navy.
Awesome. Same here, Navy brat. My dad was a career naval officer. So thank you and your family for service. Go Navy. Undefeated right now.
Right.
This is now we're speeding it up a little. You ready? True or false?
Speed up. Speed up.
True or false, you were in an Offspring cover band?
Definitely. True.
I thought so. Favorite music?
Favorite music is that's tough. That's really tough. But I'm definitely gonna go with rock and roll all the way, right?
All right. Favorite band?
Oh my goodness, that's tough. How do you do that to somebody? That's really tough.
Oh, it's like a speed up.
Yeah, it's almost like I want to say Motley Crue, but Vince Neil really sucks right now. So I mean, it's kind of like,
dude, that's a solid pull.
You know what I mean?
That's a solid pull. Never go against your first instinct. If you got to go Crue, I love it. College celebrity crush.
Oh man, I don't know. Probably Sonya. Little
From?
Indian girl named Sonya.
Oh, okay. She was a celebrity? I said celebrity.
She was celebrity. Oh my god. Well, it could have been like Cardi B or something. But no, you know who I really like? Johanna. What's her name? Johanna.
Is she a model?
Say the name. No. She was in that movie Ghost. Remember that movie Ghost?
Yeah. With Demi Moore?
She had the really short bob. No, there was another one. I remember it was kind of like in a futuristic movie, Ghost something. Demi Moore
Ghost in the Shell with Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
Okay.
That's Scarlett Johansson. Hands down, I love that.
Scarlett Johansson. Oh, she's good. Good call. Good call. Yeah. All right. Guilty pleasure.
Is that like chocolate?
There you go. That can be. I mean, are you a chocolate guy? I am. My sweet tooth is off the hook. I mean, sour candy, chocolate, ice cream. It's horrible. That's why I got to keep this physique. You know. I mean, geez.
Yeah. And definitely carrot cake. No, definitely carrot cake.
Okay. All right. Well, that's gonna get interesting when we get down here to some of the next ones. Have you ever had? You've lived in Florida for a long time. Have you ever had an animal encounter?
Alligators, a lot of alligators here.
How close?
When I'm fishing, usually I do a lot of freshwater fishing, so those alligators will come right after your fish, and it's kind of that's definitely an encounter.
I mean, are you out there in just maybe like a 12, 15 foot kind of John boat thing, or I mean, how big's the gator?
Well, yeah, they definitely come in probably about 12 foot, 14 foot when you're fishing out there. They're hungry. They're always hungry. They want a free meal, so.
Would you stay at a haunted house? It's Halloween time.
Probably not. I'm pretty spooked out pretty fast, Probably not.
Okay, fair enough.
But I would go dancing in like a Halloween haunted crowd type thing. Just go out and have some fun to some
Have some
80s.
fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally. Now,
I watch Scooby-Doo all the time, so I'm all about reliving, old cartoons and stuff like that. So,
okay, favorite cartoon growing up. We used to be able to watch
oh, come
Saturday
on.
morning cartoons and shit, right? I mean, come on, let's give the kids now something they should get that they never had.
I still do. Hong Kong Phooey, man. Hong Kong Phooey all the way.
Number one super guy, Hong Kong
Number one
Phooey.
super guy.
That's right,
Hong
man.
Kong. And anything from, Croft and, Hanna-Barbera, anything like that was definitely. I still watch to this day, like every morning I stretch to cartoons.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, you could have the Super Friends going to Space Ghost. You got Hong Kong Phooey. Oh
Space
man,
Ghost, yeah.
that's
Sigmund
a
the Sea
strong.
Monster.
Oh, now we're talking, man. We could spend all day on that.
Fraggle Rock. We're doing all
Down
kinds.
Fraggle Rock. Oh man, come on. What was
Yeah.
Dream
Anything
Destination?
anything from Jim Henson was quite amazing. I just
Oh
watched
yeah,
his documentary on Netflix the other day. Very, very hard worker, that guy. Just like us with R.A.W. Pickleball.
Reign
Hard
and
working.
Win Pickleball, hardworking, get raw, supporting bees. I got Greg here on the show with me as Pickle with Mickle, and Dream Destination for Greg. Any place you could go, where would it be?
I think New Zealand's been kind of one of my bucket list spots to go. Definitely. I guess I watch maybe too much of the Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, or whatever it is. But New Zealand looks pretty amazing.
Awesome. I mean, you get to get down there and walk the path to Mordor, right? I mean, but I think it'd be a fantastic country to go to. I've never been myself.
Yeah, I'd hang out down with all the hobbits and that kind of the Shire area and stuff like that.
Try to find your own little shire in there. There you go. Bring a couple
Absolutely.
paddles, right? Start playing a little pickle down there. I mean, they play some pickle down there. How about the
Right.
last series you binged or movie you watched? Most recent.
So I've been watching Warrior. I don't know if you know that one or not, but it's a Netflix series called
Yep.
Warrior. But definitely before that, I mean, I'm onto that Power of the Rings. Definitely has been what I've been. Well, I just finished actually.
Did you finish it? Okay. Give it a thumbs up
Yeah.
for all the
Yep.
Lord of the Rings fans out there. Go.
Oh,
Okay. Good
definitely.
deal. All right. So here comes
Anything
another
from
one. Here comes one. How about Die Hard or Lethal Weapon?
Die Hard.
Okay. I mean, I don't think you could go wrong, but I like to kind of throw that out there to see where people go first. Farrah Fawcett or Cindy Crawford?
Yeah. Farrah Fawcett, 100%. I'm so
Strong.
80s.
Strong, strong, strong. Do you eat Fig Newtons?
I do. I love Fig Newtons, but healthy
Ha-
ones. Like
The good ones? Halloween candy that you must have.
definitely always a Reese's Pieces kind of guy.
Ah, the pieces. Okay. Now, if you're giving out Halloween candy, Greg, Reign and Win Pickleball, at your house, now we know there was a storm, but if you're handing out candy, are you a full-size bar guy?
No, minis. Going minis.
Ugh. Skipping your house. All right. Candy corns.
Ooh, brutal. I mean, it
Yeah,
looks so
don't
good,
like
and
'em.
smells good, but definitely, yeah.
Are you a pumpkin spice guy?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Ugh.
Trader
Killing me.
Trader Joe's has a pumpkin spice pancake mix that is out of this world, and you can only get it in
Uh-oh.
2 months out of the year. You got to do it.
Folks, get to your Trader Joe's. Get some of this pancake mix. Spice it up a little bit. Are you a coffee drinker?
Yeah, I'm pretty weak, like a decaf guy. I'm more of a tea guy. I got tea right here. I'm doing tea.
Okay. So hot tea. I was going to say hot or iced. All right. So you like the hot?
Oh, hot tea, yeah. Hot tea, yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. Greg joining me from Reign and Win Pickleball. We're getting raw on a Wednesday so everybody can get over the hump. Greg, I've had a lot of fun. Why don't you plug something on our way out here?
Definitely going with our Instagram, Reign and Win Pickleball, as well as the Academy. I Love St. Pete Pickleball Academy. Check us out. We're supporting bees. We're supporting mental health. We're going all the way with giving back. We're not going to be take. And we're here with Mickle Pickle. Mickle.
Pickle with Mickle. That's right. I got Greg from Reign and Win Pickleball on the court with me. Go to their website, reignandwinpickleball.com. Look at all the amazing paddles. We talked about some of the new ones that are out there with the Kevlar, with the titanium. Folks, they're sharp looking. We're supporting bees. Grab that one over there. Yeah, here we go. Look at that thing.
The shine on that.
That's right. Looks good. I got to get you in touch with Dave. Maybe get a raw slice cap for the back of that thing. Have you talked with Dave?
Oh yeah. No, but we need to hook up.
All right. I'll see if I can handshake that deal through for you. That'd be cool. Have a little slice cap on the back of that with like a bee. That'd be neat. Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm always thinking.
Nice collab.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
Collab, man.
I think that'd be.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Greg, that was great. Let's do it again soon. Folks, you got to check us out on YouTube and all major podcast apps at the Mickle Pod and Pickle with Mickle. Support bees. Stay safe out there. Stay hydrated. I'll see y'all next time for more